it's Christian Younggren with Kaizen Automotive Consulting, bringing you more best automotive practices. In this edition, I'm going to go ahead and show you how you can use the trade-in evaluation step in the automotive road to the sale process as a way to help yourself in molding your guests' perceptions as to what they can expect for a realistic dollar amount for their trade-in once it's been professionally appraised. Now let's face it, this step or this point of molding their perceptions is even more important than ever in today's selling environment due to the fact that most dealers have aggressively priced most of their new and used vehicles online or on their lot just simply to get customers to take a look at those vehicles, let alone take one home. So therefore, because these vehicles have been aggressively priced, gone are the days of being able to use some of these large trade-in allowances. You remember the trade-in allowance that we take a little bit of the markup on the vehicle that the customer's interested in, and instead of discount it, we would just take that amount and we'd move it over to the trade and show it as a trade allowance. They were still getting a discount, we just moved it to the trade. Gone are the days of being able to do large trade allowances, so therefore we have to make sure the guests understand and have proper expectations as what a realistic amount is for their trade. Now, if this is your first time to our channel and you want to improve your sales skills, learn how to use psychology to go ahead and close more car deals, and receive unbiased dealership vendor product and service reviews, go ahead and make sure you subscribe and then turn on the bell so you never miss out on learning anything new. Well, okay then, let's go to work. So how does a world-class automotive salesperson mold their guest perceptions and help them be a little more realistic when it comes to what they should expect for a trade-in amount once it's been appraised? Well, it comes down to two words: customer involvement. Now, you've probably heard this before. However, it's really important when it comes to the trade evaluation because we need to get them involved. And I've got a real simple and easy way to get them involved. And so once you have your trade-in evaluation form, start to fill parts of that out in your office or inside the dealership. And then at a certain point, lift your head up and look at the guests and say, you know what? Why don't we do this? Why don't you come outside and sell me the car so I can turn around and kind of sell it to my used car manager, okay? And in most cases, the guest's going to want to come out with you because obviously they're going to want to go to town and sell that car to you. They want to get as much as they possibly can for the vehicle. So this does two really big things for you as a salesperson. The first thing it does is it kind of flips the switch. So it gets the customer to take the role of a salesperson as opposed to a buyer. They're not buying a vehicle anymore. Right now they're selling you a vehicle. So it helps them get in your shoes a little bit and understand your plight. So psychologically it kind of flips the script and changes the roles of the salesperson and the customer. Number two, it allows you to bring the guest outside, and now when you've got them outside, you can do some things with their vehicle that possibly are going to help you in setting proper expectations for their trade-in, and that is you're going to go ahead and you're going to silently devaluate that trade in your customer's mind. So how do you do that? Well, you walk around the vehicle with them and you touch flaws and imperfections. So if you see a scratch, you just lightly touch it. You don't have to say a word, you just touch it because it's called a silent devaluation. You don't see anything. You maybe see a cracked windshield, you'll go up and put your finger over the star. You'll kind of look at it and evaluate it as if you're trying to see how large that star is. You can look at their tires, the tire depth, and see if they've still got tire left, or kind of evaluate how much tire they still have on the vehicle. Now, the interesting thing about this, anybody that's ever done this in the past with a guest, you could back me up and say that it's amazing how this works. Most guests, you don't say a word, you touch the flaws, and they just start telling you everything that's wrong with that particular vehicle, or at least how that happened. Hey, that was at a grocery store. My son went ahead and opened into a shopping cart, and so he went ahead and put this big old scratch on the door. Or, gosh, my daughter did that when I loaned her the car, that little crinkle in the back rear fender. Or the star in the windshield. Gosh, I did that. I was on a road trip and a rock came up and hit me. I mean, what do? I never did turn it into the insurance. I probably should have. However, I just never did fix it, never got around to it. So now the customer realizes that you know about these flaws. Plus, it reminds them about the flaws. Because I don't know about you, but I typically don't get in on the passenger side of my car. So if my son had opened the car door into somebody else's door or into a shopping cart or banged it against the garage or something of that nature, I probably wouldn't know much about it. Even if I did know about it, I probably wouldn't remember it. So therefore, you're just reminding the customer that maybe the vehicle isn't as pristine and in excellent condition like maybe they were thinking when they first pulled into the dealership. Now also, by walking around the vehicle with them, they're going to tell you about flaws, or you can ask them about things that they've done to that vehicle in the past. You could ask a question, what in the last 12 to 24 months have you done to increase the value of this vehicle? Or what type of maintenance and repairs have you done to this vehicle in the last 24 months? I want to make sure I note this and tell my managers about that. And now that they've given you that dollar amount, you know what kind of reconditioning possibly has to be done to that vehicle. Obviously, there's some visual things like tires or scratches or dents. However, alternators, brakes, you don't know about these things until the vehicle's appraised. And it's good for you to know about these things because it helps set you up for a maintenance close on payments. It also helps set you up for the trade-in laundry list close when you talk to them about the dollar amount of repairs that will need to be done on this vehicle to get it in a top dollar condition. No, I'm not here to tell you that the silent devaluation coupled with you flipping the script by having the customer become the salesperson of their trade-in, I'm not telling you that these two items are going to eliminate trade objections altogether, because they won't. However, they will help with the customer's expectations. I think they're going to chip away at what maybe they had originally thought coming into the transaction. I mean, let's face it, if they looked at a Kelley Blue Book or a Edmunds.com and got some different evaluation amounts, it's going to chip away and it's going to remind them that maybe they didn't categorize that vehicle condition-wise in the proper category level. I mean, that's typically what we'll find when we work with guests is that they'll rate the vehicle an 8 on a scale of 1 to 10, and really it's more like a 7 or a 6. And by you walking around and just reminding them of some of the flaws in their vehicle and the fact that it's going to need brakes and the fact that there's scratches over on the passenger side that they kind of forgot about when they were evaluating the vehicle, that's going to help you and get you a lot closer to putting a deal together with this guest than it had if you had not gone out with them and had them walk around that trade with you. Well, there you have it. How to mold your guest perceptions when it comes to the trade-in evaluation and help chip away at maybe this dollar amount that they originally expected versus what the vehicle is actually going to be appraised for. Now, if you want to learn more sales skills, sales psychology, word tracks, and tips on helping deliver more vehicles, go ahead and check out some of the video links that I'm going to be putting up right about now.